As we are all aware, this is also the year for our governorship election. Expectedly, political activities will gain prominence as we march towards the election. However, let me implore all political parties, aspirants, and their followers to eschew violent conduct that can threaten the peace and tranquility of our state, and ensure that they follow strictly the guidelines issued by the electoral umpire. The election should be a contest of ideas and choices and not an opportunity to settle political scores or an excuse for calumny.
Good to know you're still with us on AM today. Yes, as we promised that when we're back from the break we took, we'll be taking you to our discussion segment. And what we have to discuss this morning is the president's visit to Ondo State and matters arising. And to discuss this with us is Honorable Benga Omoli, the essay on information and strategy to the governor of the state. Once again, Mr. Honorable Omoli, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, yes, as we're expecting the president in the state, Vice President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How's the preparation to receive Mr. President? How far has it gone?
Thank you very much. The president will be in Akure today. Will be in Akure, then we take a shopper to Owo.
Okay.
He's on a visit to Ondo State to condole with the government and people of Ondo State on the demise of our immediate past governor. And as you recall that the governor passed on in Germany after staying in Ibadan for a very long time. So since his demise, the president personally has not had the opportunity. I mean, what happened is that the president really want to come, he needs to come to Ondo State because Akeredolu is from Ondo State. So the president will be at the palace of Olowo to condole with him, and we hold a meeting with some of traditional leaders from the north. And then after that, he will fly back to Akure on his chopper. And of course, in all these movements, the president will be accompanied by the governor of Ondo State, Honorable Dr. Sayidatiwa. And when he comes back to Akure, he will be at the residence of the Afenifere leader, Fashion. You know, Ashwaju was there before the campaign, during the campaign, to hold consultation with the Afenifere leaders. I think he's coming back this time around again to say hello to Papa Fashoranti, and so definitely we have some discussions back to the airport and on his way back to Lagos. So that is the scenario of Mr. President today. It's a private visit. This is not a political visit. It's not coming for campaign. It's not coming to attend a party. So it's people that are expected only to be at the airport are expected to be at the airport. If you are not invited by the governor, who is the chief security officer of this state, please stay where you are, because we don't want the security of the president in the hands of the governor as the chief security officer of the state, and we don't want any outward incident to happen, because the governor will be blamed at the end of the day. So we are using this medium to tell the people of Ondo State, of course, we love our president, Zagaban, the Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, GCFR, who we are delighted to host him, although this is just a private visit. We know definitely he will still come back to Ondo State in the days ahead.
All right, Honorable Omole, take us on a trip to what exactly, you mentioned the fact that coming to the airport this morning will be strictly by invitation of some sort. I wouldn't know if you are currently at that airport, and tell us what the situation is currently on ground.
I'm at the entrance of the Army, the road safety, the civil defense, all security personnel, all security agencies. They are on top of their game here, and they are conducting stop and search on all vehicle and all vehicular movement inside the airport. And I think that is commendable, because we are talking of the number one citizens of this country, the leader of Nigeria, president coming here, so the security has to be top notch.
Okay, and I believe the expectations you have, talking about the fact that it's not going to be an all-comers affair, is not already happening at that location.
Like I said, it's not a political visit. It's the leader of Apeniperi, so he's not going to spend much time in Ondo State. He will be at the Palace of Olowo, as I said earlier on. He will be at the residence of our late governor in Owo. Then he will be at the residence of Fashoranti, where we will meet with the Apeniperi leaders.
All right, so you said actually that it's a private visit, but then I would like to know what the significance of the visit, to the people of the state.
I mean, it is huge, because the president is telling us in Ondo State that it's with us in our mourning period. He recognized the significant role played by our late governor, Arakunrin Oluwatomi Odunayo Akeredolu, CON, SCN, and this is an opportunity. Although he has sent delegation during the burial ceremony, the dignity that he needs to be in Ondo State personally, to personally visit the family, to condole with the Olowo, to condole with our people, and to condole with all those people in general. That is the reason why the president is here, and we are appreciative of this. Ondo State government is appreciative of this.
Honorable Mole, there's been a lot of eulogy, tributes, and encomium on late governor, former governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, and flowing from what the vice president also said on Friday at the service held at the St. Andrew's Church in Molawo, talking about the kind of person he was. Perhaps you share insights with us, the kind of relationship that existed between the president and Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. I understand he was the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. So tell us, what sort of relationship existed? Perhaps the ones you have privilege to know.
I can for free that the president, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and our late governor, Arakunrin Oluwatomi Akeredolu, enjoyed a very, very healthy and very good relationship. If I want to take you memory lane back to 2011, 2012, when our late governor, she was out in the ring to contest for the governorship, then we saw the support. In fact, I know for I can tell you for free that it was Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that encouraged Arakunrin Oluwatomi Odunayo to contest for the governor in Ondo State in 2012, and he supported him with everything because the reason he gave to us then, because I was personally at John Yare, let me get the Lagos for the meeting where actually spoke to us then that they preferred Akeredolu then because he has been the lawyer of ACN as it was then, and he always he doesn't charge them whenever ACN as a party has a case, and he has been doing that for a very long time. So I think, and they see in him as somebody who has what it takes to be a governor of Ondo State. So they have a very long history. They have a very good relationship dated back to the early 90s. So Later Akeredolu is a very known person to our president. As you know, Akeredolu has never been to any party before. He has never been any member of any party before. He has been a progressive all his life. Even when he was served under the military as commissioner and attorney general in Ondo State, we knew what he did then. So they have a very good relationship, and they still maintain that relationship until our governor break his last break. Our former governor break his last break.
Honorable, given the situation of the state, the nation now, and all that, the visit is a private one, but you know that citizens of the country, citizens of Nigeria, actually of Ondo State, would have loved to have a word or two with Mr. President. Would there be some sort of press conference where he was going to address some issues, maybe, perhaps?
Please, can I take that again? I can't.
Okay, situation of the nation, and of course Ondo State, it's not exempted from the food scarcity and the hardships and all that. The citizens of the state would have loved to have one or two words with Mr. President, but as it is, it's a private visit and all that. But would there be some sort of press conference or so where we address these issues or answer a few questions from the press? Hello, Honorable. Oh, I think we lost the call there.
At the airport, got to him at that particular location this time, and I can tell you for free. Heading to the office this morning, you see deployments of military personnel. You see deployments of the DSS. You see deployment of the police officers of the Nigeria Police Force. You see deployment of the NSCDC. Everybody, all routes leading to the airport this morning, and you also find some of the operatives of the security agencies manning strategic locations in town, and you expect that to be looking at the kind of person who is also coming to town at this point in time. I also understand that the president's advance team were already on ground a few days ago, so that tells you. But one thing I was hoping to also chip in for, perhaps ask Honorable Benga Omole, is the fact that the visit to Pa Ruben Fashion-Roti, we know how well he was supported in terms of, the advice given to President Bola Tinubu while he was even contesting. Now that he has won, is in charge months into his tenure. Recently, the Afenifere put out a statement urging Nigerians not to protest. I'm also hoping to ask what are the likely takeaways for the president when he visits Pa Ruben Fashion-Roti. Definitely, you have some elder statesmen also joining Pa Ruben Fashion-Roti to receive the president later today at his residence. So many Nigerians are also hoping if this will be an opportunity for the elders in Yoruba land to say, you are our son. But of course, some of the actions you are taking, you must ensure that implementation yields results for the betterment of Nigerians, for the positivity of Nigerians, because the cries and of course the agitation, the tension of some sort in the minds of Nigerians could take some time to be doused. But making the president conscious that, look, we're telling people not to protest. Look, we're enjoining people to support your government. But look, you must get this right. I know it's huge. Definitely the other statesmen, when you have a person like His Royal Majesty Bolufalai, these are experienced people who would. Yes, these are experienced people who would have words of advice for the president on some of the actions he has taken so far and some of the actions he needs to take, because they also feel the pulse of the people, particularly down here in the southwest.
I want to believe that the elder statesmen are actually going to be speaking with Mr. President on some actions that he needs to take to alleviate the suffering of the people, because everyone, these people are community leaders, and they definitely are feeling the pulse of the people. They definitely would know how many people they have to feed in a day, or who run to them for succor of some sort. So how somehow Mr. President is going to get to hear what the people, have in mind to say, as we want to believe that the elderly men are going to speak the hearts of the citizen on this visit.
Of course, the significance of prayer will also come to play later today. We are hoping, that picture where then candidates, or was it candidate then, or was trying to vie for the position of president on the platform of the APC, Bola Tinubu, bowed down and received the blessing of Ruben Passionati to go and conquer. We're hoping that prayer, that blessing will also come, go and succeed, go and get things done, and we'll get to see the manifestation of this prayer.
Peace to the people.
Definitely. So let's remind you again that President Bola Tinubu is due to arrive on Ondo State today on a day visit. It will just be here just for today. It will definitely leave at the end of his engagement today. And the main purpose of the visit, according to what we understand, is to pay condolence to the Olowo Oba Ajibade Ogunye and the family of late former governor Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, who are currently in Owo. The president will be received on arrival at the Akure airport by the state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa. And Tinubu, President Tinubu, will use the occasion to also visit Pa Ruben Fasharati, a Afenifere leader, at his residence later today. The president is expected to also leave Ondo State later today. And you remember, the president was represented at the funeral service of former Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on Friday, last Friday, by his vice president. But now he's coming himself. And of course, just to ensure that the family and the people of Ondo State knows that he is truly with us. And of course, remembering a dear friend, we'll say, or a dear compatriot in the country. But aside that, updates also on the NLC protest, just like we mentioned in our paper review this morning. NLC protest has been called off, and of course another ultimatum given. That's March 13. So 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What can happen in 2 weeks?
A lot can happen even within the split of a second. Some much more of 2 weeks.
Okay, how well will all of these things play out? We understand that there are 17 demands now that have been placed to the president to look into. So, just like the protest held yesterday.
The demand for the functioning of the refineries, and just last year, towards the ending of last year, there was a promise that the Port Harcourt refineries will start, producing fuel. How far is that? Is another refinery taken up? Things like that.
So it's just about putting governments
on their toes.
And flowing from what the NLC chairman in Ondo State, Comrade Victor Amoko, said yesterday. He said, this kind of protest, the one held yesterday in Ondo State, look, we're not having issues with Ondo State government. It's just about we joining the national body to let the federal government know what the true situation of things are in the country. Look, hunger is in the land, in a way. Talking about the food crisis.
Everything is expensive.
And good that the Nigeria Customs Service is also saying, look, we're deploying drones, we're deploying more personnel to man about 1,500 illegal routes for smuggling. That's huge. So we hope that all of these measures will be put together. Labor concerns will also be addressed. Says, labor is protesting, good. that also limits the chances of perhaps violence, perhaps miscreants also coming into the scheme of things. But before Nigerians would also start having that urge, these demands must be addressed. These demands must also be looked into, and we are hoping, just like the federal government has said time and time and again, that they will take steps. They will continue to take measures to alleviate the sufferings of the people. You remember, just earlier this week, I think over the weekend, the president constituted an economic advisory committee where you have private sector stakeholders, the likes of the Dangotes, the Lumelu, the Rabiu, part of that committee. You also have representatives of subnational state governments or state governors also on board that committee. So it's about just trying to get as many measures into the situation to really reduce the suffering.
Yes, to really reduce the sufferings, and just as we saw on some of the newspapers' headlines, the presidency is saying they're well aware of the hardship in town and taking measures, speedy ones to actually cushion the hardship. And so let's hope that soon things would normalize or become bearable, at least we come to the level at which we can bear with the government, and so that we can see the long run impact that the removal of subsidy is to make, and all the policies of the government that seems to be biting hard right now. All right, this is how much we'll be taking on the show for this morning. I want to say thank you very much to Honorable Benga Omoli for being our guest via the phone this morning, and from
But just like you said, it's a private visit of some sort to extend his condolence to the people of Ondo State and the family of the late former governor of the state, Osrc. So we hope the president will have, aside condolence, fruitful engagements later today.
Indeed. We can only hope for the fruitful engagements. Yes, my name is Folashade Ogido, saying enjoy the rest of your day.